Avenue South, and also the Catskills Festival, February 21st through the 23rd. Artists are being introduced onto the World Wide Web. You can see who's going to be here. We're going to talk about it a little bit. I have my co-host just waiting to come in, sit next to me today, Bobby Blackjack. Yeah. We're on Villaroma Television right now on YouTube, Villaroma Television. We're going to talk some sports today, and we have the big, they call it the best weekend of football of the year, and that's this weekend coming up at the Sports Bar and Grill. We're going to pray that it doesn't snow up here because we have some big plans this weekend. On Sunday, we have some special news. We're going to talk about it, Bobby and I. But we'll talk about the games, and it's going to be a great weekend. I'm looking forward to it. The PBA is here. I'm supporting the PBA today, wearing the hat. PBA Ray is here. He'll be racing tomorrow here at Villaroma. But we're going to be talking some football, and some great activities. Stephen Scott will be here tonight. I'll be hosting that show, and that'll be in Marty's Lounge at 9:30. Stephen Scott, he does amazing things with his voice. We're putting up some advertisements right now, letting people know. We'll put up the link as well for the Skinny. You can watch it right on YouTube. And the best thing about YouTube is you can watch it over and over again. You don't have to watch it in real time. You could go back, almost like a podcast, right, Bobby?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. We're actually also live on Surge Sports Entertainment TV, on Roku and Fire TV. Our new venue here, and a lot of stuff from Villaroma Television will be on there to the whole world. We have a whole new world here at Villaroma. We have a whole new international audience that we're going to be playing to based on the ownership here and whatnot. Very exciting stuff happening here at the Villaroma. And like I said, we have a couple of groups here this weekend, and we're going to have some fun. So, Doc, where do you want to start on this sports talk?
Well, first, I'll just show them. I'm going to post this on the Instagram story, and you have the link right on there. You just touch the link. It's that simple. How did I find out how to just touch the link? There was a little kid. He was like 6 years old. He was on an iPhone, and I asked him, hey, how do you set up the link? Right, Bobby?
Simple for them.
Yeah, so we're going to share that. And again, today's program brought to you by the Catskill Festival. The Catskill Festival, this is jazz, it's art, it's live music, it's art, workshops. We're going to tell you about some of the entertainers that are going to be here, but it's a really special weekend coming up. That's at the tail end of President's Week. What a week that's going to be, Bobby.
Yeah, a lot of the guests here are familiar with the summer, the big 10, 11 weeks of summer, how packed it is here. But they've always said, and Doc, you know this, that the President's Week is as busy, if not busier, than a summer week.
That's right. They're out on the hills during the day, skiing, tubing, snowboarding, and then they say, hey, Doc, we're out all day. Could you have activities late at night? We go late night. Yeah, Peter's here from Peter's Meat Market, Bronx, Little Italy, the whole family, about 50 people strong. We got a lot of characters.
How's Pete doing, by the way?
Yeah, Pete's doing real good.
Awesome.
Yeah, God bless you, Pete. If you're watching today from Yorktown or from the Bronx, Little Italy, he's probably right in the shop right now. 718-367-3136, Peter's Meat Market, Arthur Avenue's favorite meeting place.
All right, so here we are, again, Villaroma, cold. It's Friday. I don't know what day it is anymore. It's Friday, correct?
Friday.
Cold Friday afternoon. Again, we have the special show on Sunday. Again, new sports bar up by the clubhouse is fantastic. We're going to do a lot more stuff there as the year comes along. But let's start off real quick. We're going to talk, obviously, about the NFL playoffs. The biggest weekend in the NFL is this weekend. 2 great games on Saturday, 2 great games on Sunday. But one thing that's really on my mind, it's in my craw, in my angst a little bit, Deion Sanders. Love the guy. Love Deion, love prime time, love what he did. Jackson, I believe it was Jackson State. Then he moves on to Colorado, builds these programs up from where they were from the ashes, like the Phoenix Rising. But really, after 2 years in Colorado, you're really going to consider leaving for the NFL? What are all these promises you made to these players and these parents that you're recruiting, these transfers coming in? I mean, I understand. I always thought it wasn't about the money for him, and obviously there's a certain panache about being an NFL coach, but he has his whole life for that. You know what? Take Colorado into next year's playoff, 12 team, we'll get that as well, the playoffs, but take Colorado into the playoffs next year. Do more than just have a 9-win season and a good bowl game. Then you want to go to the NFL, all the power to you. But don't make all these promises how much you love Boulder, Colorado, you love the administration, you love the city, planting roots here. No, you're not. You're ready to jump at the next opportunity. Now, Doc, another thing I'm going to flip with, the other side of the coin there, our buddy Bill Belichick. What are your thoughts of him taking over North Carolina? Since you're wearing Carolina blue right there.
That's right. Well, Bill Belichick, I know him not so much from football nowadays as I do the horse world. He owns many thoroughbred horses and a big horseman, but what a great coach and a stellar career. And I think that's huge, Bobby. That's huge. But will he make the commitment and after 2 years say, hey, I want to go back into the NFL?
It could happen now. There's always whispers that he wants to leave already, or people are inquiring about his services in the NFL. When he took the UNC job, there's only 3 openings. Now there's 6. And he's definitely on a lot of people's short lists to do something. Personally, I think if he stays at UNC, North Carolina, I think that's a fantastic opportunity for him, more so in college than pro, to groom future coaches. Because you have a larger staff in college. You get a chance to take a chance on a up-and-coming hot coach and teach them well. And then get these guys ready. Yeah, we all know about the Belichick coaching tree. It's not that great, really, except for Mike Vrabel for the most part. But maybe you get a chance now to groom, like your son and other people at the college level, to prepare them for college and pro coaching positions. And I really hope Belichick, gives it at least an honest go at UNC. Obviously, it's a great athletic school, great academic school, with the basketball program and, Michael Jordan and whatnot. But him being there is going to elevate that program the way Deion did in Colorado. And I just hope Deion stays 1-2 more seasons in Colorado and not just show that you just want to coach your kids for 4 years and then do what you want to do. Deion, stay at Colorado, get them to the playoffs next year, make some noise. You got some great transfers coming in. Just do the job and stay there. You don't want to go to Dallas. Trust me. You know, and your heart of hearts, as you said, he's not going to survive in Dallas. Nobody does because Jerry Jones runs the whole show.
Well, my take on Deion Sanders is that this is a lot of hype on this right here, the internet. He wants his boys to go early in the draft. The one boy, top pick, Giants. Come on. I think he just wants their value to go up. I don't think he's planning on leaving Colorado. I think it's all a bunch of hype.
Speaking of the Giants in the draft, now obviously, of course, as per par with the New York Giants, they win a game when they're not supposed to, fall out of the top spot. Then they're 3. The intriguing thing about 3 is Travis Hunter from Colorado, the 2-year Heisman Trophy winner and 2-way player, cornerback and wide receiver. That's the guy you need in New York for the spotlight. Imagine having him and Malik Neighbors on that receiving core.
There you go.
You'll find a quarterback. And I thought all along, Doc, and I've been saying this for a couple of years now, I thought all along the Mara's and Tish's plan was to try to stall this process so they can draft Arch Manning next year. Because they love the Mannings so much that, let's keep it going with Eli's nephew now. And so crazier things can happen. But I have a feeling, knowing how the Giants operate, and they're all about familiarity and having people that they know and are comfortable with. Yeah, let's have another so-so year and get Arch Manning next year. Because, hey, Mannings and Giants go together like cheese and wine.
I think you bring back Daniel Jones.
He's staying in. He's staying in. Actually, he's going to be With this whole situation with Sam Darnold, who I thought had a great year, really is giving himself a nice paycheck.
Well,
He faltered the past 2 weeks.
the 2 weeks. He took 2 weeks off at the end of the season. He had early vacay. He looks so good, just like that guy, Justin Herbert, throwing 4 picks. He threw 3 all year. Granted, the last one was off the guy's hands and it should have been caught, but wow, what a turnaround, Bobby.
Yeah, so Sam Darnold, I know you mentioned PBA Ray is here with his group, and he's a big Vikings fan, and he's done with. I asked him before, what we do with Sam Darnold? He's like, get rid of him. We don't want him.
I think the Jets could use a Sam Darnold.
That's the problem with the Jets, though. Jets need a quarterback too, like the Giants, and 2 of the probably top quarterbacks who should or will be available. Number 1, Sam Darnold, been there, done that, and potentially Geno Smith,
Well,
been there, done that.
also, rumor that Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins, as your son will probably, he's probably jumping if he's watching the show right now. He's probably jumping, going, "I hate that guy." Kirk Cousins will be a hot commodity because he'll be like Russell Wilson this year. He'll be getting paid from his previous employer a lot of money. He'll sign for that veterans minimum, like Russell Wilson did with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and elevate a team better than they are now.
Yeah.
Whether he can succeed, I don't know.
Nah, look at Russell Wilson with the Steelers. Baltimore is a tough team, but they were up 21-0. Come on, Russell. And Kirk Cousins, what a beginning to the season. You thought this guy was the new coming of Kirk Cousins, and all of a sudden, Bobby, it turned.
It turned
Something's up.
big time.
It's not in the script, or maybe it is in the script.
I don't know. What are the colors of this year's Super Bowl? 'Cause that's usually what determines who's going to make it, right? Because this the script, they say. Look, all I care about, we'll get into the playoffs soon, divisional championship this weekend. I don't want to see Kansas City. Sorry, Karen. I don't want to see the Eagles.
Yeah.
Let's get some new blood in there. That's why a Buffalo Bills team against the Detroit Lions. 2 teams. Lions have never been there. Buffalo, as we all well know, lost 4 in a row. The game would be off the chart as their regular season game was. And just to have either of those fan bases finally win a championship would be unprecedented. Unprecedented.
But Bobby, the way things go right now, and if I were a betting man, I don't have the account, but I think you could probably go make a drop or something. In any case, if I had to put money down right now before who's going to be advancing, I'm going to go out on a limb and say the Rams. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say the Baltimore Ravens.
I don't want to see it. I want the Buffalo Bills there so bad that where do you go? I want the Buffalo Bills there so bad that I'm nervous about this game. I'm more nervous about the Ravens per se than them playing hopefully maybe playing the Chiefs next week. But the point with the Rams you mentioned, which is the Rams are a veteran team, with real young components. Matthew Stafford has been there, done that. Sean McVay, the best young coach in the history of young coaches of NFL history, been there, done that. But now you have, from when they won the championship a few years ago, now you have other pieces. Puka Nacua is there now. You still got Cooper Kupp doing his thing. But then you have these younger pieces like Kyron Williams, Notre Dame guy. And you have this young defense that we saw last week had 9 sacks against Sam Darnold. That's a team you don't want to face. I will not be upset. And Mr. Snitsky, body slam me or what, I don't care what you want to do. Your Eagles are going down this week. The Rams, I think, are going to have their number. Hurts is hurt, right? They're going to contain Saquon Barkley, get that rush going, and I see. We'll get to the picks obviously soon, but I see the Rams upsetting the Eagles, and that's one of those teams that all right, they're out. Let's get some new blood in there. Let's go.
Yeah, I see the Rams, Bobby, and I also see the Ravens, and I kind of like the Texans. They're a tough, scrappy team, Bobby. Anything could happen in this weekend, and it has happened over the years. Just this is going to be exciting.
Yeah, like I said, like you mentioned, best weekend of NFL football as far as the quality of games you're going to have. Can there be a blowout? Absolutely. But more often than not, they're close games with a lot on the line. You know, basically the final 8 teams, and then they'll go to the final 4. And, you know, we're good. I mean, I'm looking forward to a great weekend up in the Sports Bar and Grill.
That's right. And
games.
I didn't mention it before, Bobby. People on pins and needles, but Sunday we have a special guest. As long as it doesn't snow. If it snows, we're gonna reschedule. We don't want anybody coming out if it's going to be dangerous roads. But our good friend is coming back home to Villa Roma. He said it best on the internet, "Mama, I'm coming home."
Who's Mama?
Gene Snitsky. Wow, the former WWE superstar. He's pretty tall, Bobby.
6'7".
He's like 6'9". 6'9".
Is he 6'9"?
One of his hands is like one hand is like this.
The only thing with Gene Snitsky is if you have a newborn baby, keep the baby away from him. But I tell you what, if you follow, you know, I'm good friends with Gene as well. Always love his Facebook and social media posts. So if you follow Gene on social media, him and his wife Carolyn love to go off-road riding. So unless the storm is that bad on Sunday, I would have bet against him getting here because he's gonna love that drive anyway in that.
Oh yeah.
In that Jeep of his.
Coming across the Callicoon Bridge, and just so you know, Gene Snitsky. How do you get a guy like that to come up to Villa Roma? The history with Doc Holliday goes before Gene Snitsky was even a professional wrestler. That's right. When I first met Gene, he actually worked for Joy and I down in Pennsylvania at the old Split Rock Resort. True story. And they say, "Hey, let's introduce you to one of your new employees, or one of your employees." We had just gotten there to go to work. I went upstairs, and they introduced me. And there's this big guy. I couldn't believe how big this guy was, like unbelievable. And he said, "Hi, my name is Gene. I'm going to be a professional wrestler." And sure enough, WWE, Gene Snitsky, come out and see him. We'll do autographs. We'll do photos. We'll have a meet and greet with the big guy. And he's a real nice guy. You know, he puts off a mean demeanor when he's wrestling, and I wouldn't want to go up against him, but he's a softie, right?
Also a movie star and producer as well.
That's right. 100 Acres of Hell.
You were in the movie.
That's right. I had a cameo appearance. Pretty cool stuff. You could check it out all on the internet. Check out Big Gene, Sports Bar and Grill. Just let me tell you something about Sports Bar and Grill. How come so many people go there? Not just because 80-something inch TV in the middle and all these TVs around. It's not just that. Not that it's comfortable and it's all like brand new tables and it's just so comfortable. But $10 pitchers, $10 pitchers of beer. Pabst Blue Ribbon, Miller Lite, right, Bobby? $10 pitchers.
Yeah.
I don't know where you could get a $10 pitcher of beer.
And Chris, the cook there, a great guy. Also a Jersey guy. Turns out we're neighbors where we both come from. So food's phenomenal.
Rice balls, right? Comes like 5 rice balls on a plate. I go downtown, I get 1 rice ball. I get 5 rice balls here with the best marinara sauce. Oh my. Sports Bar and Grill. Scrumptious food. Craft drinks. And the best games of the week. All sports, right, Bobby?
Yeah, all sports. Also, tomorrow, which As everybody, a lot of my fans and people know, I'm a big Seton Hall. I'm a graduate. I'm a big advocate to the team. I had the women's coach Tony Bozzella on earlier on our show, the Coach Boz show. St. John's versus Seton Hall tomorrow night, which means the Kadari Richmond, who left us for a big paycheck, returns to the Crew Center. So, what a weekend of sports. Well, let's get started, Doc.
All righty.
4:30 tomorrow. We have the fourth seeded in the seedings of the NFL playoffs. Oh, by the way, let me ask you a question about that. A lot of talk last week, especially with the Vikings, PBA raised Vikings losing on the road, despite being a 14-3 team. Do you think it should be seeded by record or by, if you're a division champion, you should get the home game, which is the old standard? Or is it time for something new to happen to change and progress the game itself?
That's a tough call, Bobby. I really felt bad, but as in baseball, wild card, I've seen the wild card come out and take the series as well. But I think it should be based off of record.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a 14-3 team, there should be some kind of threshold. If you're above a certain winning percentage off a 17-game season, that should, if you reach that threshold, you should be able to have a home game.
Well, I really let me rethink this. I'm gonna restate myself, Bobby, and just think that they should do like college football. They should use artificial intelligence, the newest intelligence, and they should feed in strength of schedule. Now, Minnesota might have been 14-3, but look how many games Cincinnati lost by under 7 points. And
see, using that idea, Doc, the reason why, again, they were at a big disadvantage, they played in the hardest division in football, the NFC North. They had to go against Green Bay, who made the playoffs. Detroit, obviously, the best team in the NFC currently, and playing them. And the Bears were always there. The Bears are up and coming, but they played against two other playoff teams to get where they are. And that, if you put that into a strength of schedule AI module, they should still come up on top because of that.
That's right.
Playing in the best division in football.
And it's almost like, but that was just a little bit different. The college football, Notre Dame is not in a conference, so they said, oh, they can't be in the top. Well, let me tell you something. If you look back and they say, oh, Ohio State, Texas was the real championship. No, it wasn't. Look how many top 20 teams Notre Dame beat right in a row to even make it to this far. So they earned it. They earned it.
Yeah, because when they had that loss against Northern Illinois, which, trust me, I was devastated. You were devastated. John was devastated. People laughed at us. People were like, typical Notre Dame. They can't do it. They can't blah, 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 blah. This is redemption right now because we have the greatest coach since Lou Holtz, Marcus Freeman, leading this team. You got Al Golden, who was a former NFL head coach, right? Sporotnik, I believe, I think I have his name right, the offensive coordinator from LSU, who was, Denbrock, I'm sorry. He was bounced around, and he was there at Notre Dame, went to LSU, and came back. The greatest thing that happened to Notre Dame football in the past 10 years was Brian Kelly moving to LSU.
There you go.
He left LSU, and he left Notre Dame because he wanted better opportunities for national championships. And 3 years later, look who's there and who's not.
There you go.
We'll talk about that. That'll be our last thing with Notre Dame we'll talk about. Cause that's,
and then we'll be there Monday night, Sports Bar and Grill for the national championship, for Inauguration Day.
I told you, yeah, exactly. A big day on Monday. It's pretty... it's kind of ironic with the Inauguration Day is like, I'm all excited for this Trump coming back and Vance. Vance is an Ohio senator. Who's he rooting for, obviously? Ohio State. So it's like, well, I don't know. Hopefully that doesn't diminish our day on Monday. But, hey, I know we have some snow coming up. I just hope and pray, I mentioned to Doc before we went on air, that I get home on Monday because I have my lucky jersey, my hat, my seat, my drinks, my food, my TV, and I just want to sit there and take it all in.
Yeah, I talked to my son John, big Notre Dame fan. wears, you might have seen the picture
Oh.
with Leprechaun, and he wears that, sits on the couch. But it's my granddaughter's birthday Sunday. Jonna, she's also a big Notre Dame fan. They've gone to many games. So shout out to the family out there. Kendall, Jonna, Adele.
What are the odds
South
of John
Dakota.
going to the game, by the way? Is that a thing on the sports books? John taking the ride down there and on a whim?
You know, I might, if you're watching that national championship game, you just might see my son in the crowd.
We won't know until Monday night, but he might just be there, and I don't blame him. All right, let's get back to the football NFL. Boo Chiefs, Karen, just so you know. Big Chiefs fan. All right, so we have Texans Chiefs. Good segue there. I don't know. Like you mentioned, Texans being hot. I'm not sold, and a lot of people are not sold on this Chiefs team. Yeah, they're 15-2, but they've won games off the, on the edge of their seat, close games that they probably shouldn't have won. And if we all know, hey, we're not going to talk about the old, help from the refs or anything. Like Mr. Brady had.
No, but I saw it on the internet, Bobby. I saw one of the referees pulled a hamstring, one of the Chiefs' main referees that's been helping them all year long, and he won't be at the game.
Whew.
On the IL.
Look, as far as that first game, Texans, at the Chiefs, it's going to be cold. It's winter now. The elements are there. I just want a close game. I don't want a blowout. Hopefully the Texans got a little confidence in their game, a little swagger to their step by beating the Chargers last week, right? And beating them pretty handily.
Handily. Manhandled them. I expected so much closer of a game, but I can tell you that defense, Bobby, has really stepped up. They're in it, Bobby. I think they're in it.
Yeah. So hopefully, hey, I would love the upset and get the Chiefs out of there for once. Again, nothing. I love Andy Reid. I love the whole, story, and with him and being one of the greatest coaches. Patrick Mahomes is a good guy. You never hear anything bad about him. Yeah, we're all a little tired of Kelsey and what's her name?
Swifty.
The Swifties, but even if it's a 1 year break, the Bills in there. But I wouldn't be upset to see the Chiefs for at least 1 year not make it and maybe rebuild a little bit and take a step back. Travis Kelsey's not getting any younger. This could be his last soiree. I can see them winning the championship again for the third time in a row, which is history in itself, and him retiring. But hopefully Chiefs, hopefully Bills end that reign and we get something different in there. Any final thoughts in that game?
If I owned a box like that up at that stadium and had my all my celebrity friends there and all my friends, and we're partying at the game and all, you know what I like to see, Bobby? I like to see them give that box, say, you know what, don't come to this game, and have some underprivileged kids, some kids from broken homes, give them the box, the game, bring them to the game,
Give them the box.
Share the game.
Give them the box.
With the kids. I would like to see that rather than someone make a catch and they pan up to the box. Oh.
And they're all partying, like, the mom, her.
Put on a shirt and watch the game. Come on.
Show up in sweats like the average diehard fan would do, right?
That's right.
On a cold day in Kansas City. All right, next game.
That's not good TV, Bobby. Not for me. I'd rather watch the game.
The NFL is all about money, obviously. Who isn't? We would love to have that kind of money ourselves. But, they're loving this whole Taylor Swift thing because it's bringing more dollars into their bank because now you're getting that younger female generation involved and liking football. And there's a business component to this as well. And, it's not a bad thing, and it's expanding the market.
Well, I see also the big game, Bobby. Before we just get back to this, I don't want to get off too far, but, You know, the one thing they do at the Super Bowl, if you watch the Super Bowl and everybody watches, a lot of people watch for the commercials, but what they do during the game is they pan around and they show all the stars from all the television and movies of whatever station is hosting the event. And of course, they give away those tickets to those people. But how about those people donating, selling those tickets and donating that money to the fire victims, or maybe the victims in North Carolina and Asheville, something like that, Bobby, rather than show people. It just sends a bad signal, Bobby. I just don't know.
I think the funniest cameo appearance, like you're saying, was I saw recently was like they were doing. It was the rodeos in town because it's post Christmas, it's winter. They always come around this time of year in the garden and stuff. I guess some of the cowboys in the crowd, and they're like panning to them, like no one knows who they are. This is not Texas. Come on.
So what do you think? Do you think the Chiefs will put up?
I mean, all right. I'm looking here on CBS Sports. They're 8.5-point favorites with over under a 41.5.
So they do
I
expect
think that over under is kind of low, right?
I would think, but the way the Chiefs have been playing this year, like you said, Bobby, no big blowouts. Just a lot of the games have been much, much closer than what I would think, like, say, Chiefs last year or even the year before. They don't have as good an offense, I think, as last year.
By the way, and we would take this in a heartbeat today, right now, or tomorrow. 36 degrees and sunny at 4:30. Well, it's sunny going down at that point, but 36 degrees would be bombing right now here.
That's right.
I'd be wearing shorts and like Mr. Shapiro back
They're
there.
calling for on over here less than an inch, but some flurries on Saturday.
All right. So who's your prediction?
I'm going to go Houston here. I'm going to go Houston Texans to keep it on, keep that streak going. They surprised me last weekend, but what they showed me was they're a scrappy team that comes to play.
I'm going to go, my heart is telling me Texas. I don't want Chiefs in there. My brain is telling me Chiefs once again, AFC Championship game, and hopefully at that point, either the Rams or the Bills, at least for 1 year, send them golfing early. All right, next game, 8 o'clock. That game's 4:30 on ABC and ESPN.
And at the Sports Bar and Grill, right up the street at the Villaroma Golf Clubhouse. You go right in the main doors, right down the stairs. It's pretty silent as you go down. I mean, it's that building is very well built. But you open the door and then you hear people cheering and roaring. It's going to be a good time. Sports Bar and Grill.
And then, all right, tomorrow night's game, 8 o'clock, is the one of the NFC divisional games. That'll be the Commanders, the surprising Commanders, 12-5 in the year, with their dynamic rookie quarterback, Jaden Daniels, who looks, I had him on my fantasy team. I'll have him again next year on my fantasy team. He looks tremendous. Against the Lions, who, quite frankly, are the best team in football. Love Dan Campbell, love his attitude, love his grittiness. You know, we're going to bite their knees off type of thing. Jared Goff, one of the great comeback stories of the recent NFL history. You know, basically got thrown in because they wanted to get rid of the Rams wanted Matt Stafford, and we'll throw you our quarterback. Yeah, you can have him, and he turns out to be really, really good. Nice second paycheck, which is phenomenal, and is a great leader for this team. The Lions. The Lions, of course, as you mentioned, have never been there to the big game. And it'll be a tremendous thing for them to get there, at least, after last year's heartbreak of losing in the, I think, to the Niners in the NFC Championship game. Lions are 9.5-point favorites. Of course, they're in the dome, so there's no weather. Over under 55.5.
Wow.
They're expecting fireworks.
Well, I don't know, Bobby. You know, again, my heart, right from the beginning of the year, Skins. got to go with a red color. Kirk Cousins was lighting them up with the Falcons and Jaden Daniels with the Skins. And then they met their match, and they played, I remember, I believe it was Baltimore, but kind of kept it close. So I don't think they're there yet, but they're just a step away, Bobby. And with that quarterback in the helm, he could have been a New York Giant. Imagine this guy's career if he had become a New York Giant. It could have been, nasty.
Well, he wouldn't be Offensive Player of the Year or Rookie of the Year if they were the Giants.
Right, so I see, it's either going to be a blowout or they put the heartbreak into the Lions once again and the Skins go forward. Wouldn't that be something?
I mean, of all four of the games, this is the least chance I see of an upset. Again, Dan Quinn, head coach, Jersey guy, Morristown, New Jersey. No, his second job in the NFL, redemption, whole 9 yards. He should have won with the Falcons, and I'm sure John is sitting there going, that guy again, But I don't see the Lions losing this game, no matter what the Commanders. Their defense is not up to par yet. Now they're going to learn from this year and get better. From what I've been reading, they have a tremendous amount of cap space coming into the season again. So they're only going to get better weapons for Daniels, a better defense around them, but not this year.
And I see that if there's some way that they could keep this game close, there's a chance. There's a chance, Bobby. Remember that college? It was a movie about a college, one of my favorite colleges, Notre Dame, called Rudy. The Skins could be the Rudy of the NFL.
As bad as I want to watch Rudy again, I haven't watched it yet, so I can't watch it until after the game Monday.
No, we got to watch it before the game, Bobby. I'll put it on the schedule.
It's gonna ruin my my mojo because I haven't done it yet. And I'm wearing the same jersey, the same hat, the whole 9 yards, the food, the drink, the TV, my chair, sitting there, echoes of my dad, my brother, my cousin Charlie, all big Notre Dame fans. And, so I was asked the first round game against Indiana to go to a bar with some friends who are big Notre Dame fans to watch. And I said, I got to be here. This is where I got to be with my little gold helmet and stuff. All right, so what are your thoughts about this game? Any chance for the Commanders?
I say yes, Bobby, and the line's got to be good. So if you're a betting person, there's the value right there, Bobby. This is the long shot. Like Bobby said, of all the games, this is the one where you see the Lions just blowing them out. But sometimes 9.5, Bobby, even 8 points.
Yeah, from a coverage standpoint, I can see this being a touchdown game or, something like that. But the chance of winning, I think, is minute.
Yeah, I say minute. But I'm going to be rooting for the Skins to upset the Lions and put the foils on them once again. The hard luck Lions. We're going to be calling them on Sunday. We'll be calling them the hard luck Lions.
I don't know. As much as I can see them, the Commanders covering the spread 9.5, I also see this being a 20, 30-point blowout as well.
I could see that. I could see it.
You can go either way. Nothing in the middle. Either way. Close, blowout. Nothing where they're kind of hanging on and they're within 2 scores. Something happens here to get a chance. No, it's either real close or a blowout.
That's what I say. That's what I say. I mean, I expect a blowout, but I'll be rooting for those Skins.
All right, let's move on to Sunday.
Sunday, that's the big man coming to town. As long as it doesn't have a big snowstorm here, Big Gene Snitsky, former WWE superstar, will be here for the meet and greet, and we'll watch the game. He's a big Eagle fan, Bobby, and this is the first game up on Sunday. It's a 3 o'clock game, and who do you like, Bobby?
again, I'm going to talk with my head here and not my heart. If I talk with my heart here, I hate the Eagles. Sorry, Gene. I know Carolyn's a Steelers fan like me, but no, sorry, Gene, about the Eagles. But again, I think the Rams have a legit chance here. So they're saying 37 degrees with a snowflake. I don't know what that means. Does that mean flurries? Does that mean blizzard? I don't know. Eagles are 6-point favorites. Over under 43 and a half.
Wow.
So they're expecting so-so weather, wind, snow, and not a high-scoring game. That might actually help the Rams. Now, again, there you go. Now you have the whole West Coast travel to the East Coast, playing an early game in weather you're not accustomed to. But, again, McVay, Stafford, those guys, they've been there. They've done that before. So that experience is going to come through. Them being a recent championship team, Super Bowl winner, that experience is going to come out. And we're going to see, hopefully, the Rams keep it close and maybe, last-minute field goal win.
Well, Bobby, I see it as you got to contain one guy, and that's Saquon Barkley. Only one game Barkley messed up all year, only one, and that was against the Falcons with the bobble. He had that bobble. Remember the bobble? And he dropped it, Bobby, and they could have won that game against the Falcons, but the bobble beat him, and Saquon is just on fire. And what unselfish running back to let the younger guys in the game when he could have went for Eric Dickerson's record. He 2,005 yards. All you need is 100 more yards, Bobby, and he sat out quite a bit.
I'll give him,
including the last game.
I'll give him all kudos in the world for doing that. But then again, you also got to realize him going for that record meant that you can't put your sub-O line in, right? So then that means the old line had to play because you're not going to go for the record with the backups, right?
Well,
and it's just not worth an injury at that
Daniel
point.
Jones did.
That name just, I get goosebumps, like anger goosebumps. Don't forget, I remember exactly where I was when I drafted Daniel Jones. And at that time, I really wanted, I know he changed his name a little bit. I wanted the other Josh Allen, who was the linebacker for the I think Jaguars. And no, we're selecting Daniel Jones. Who? Why? Because his quarterback coach is the Manning quarterback coach. See the familiarity, how everything has to line up for the Maras and Tisches.
Well, getting back to the Eagles, I could say, Bobby, the Eagles fans, they're worth at least 3 of those 6 points because those fans are tough, Bobby. It's tough to go down to Eagle country being a Giant fan, and whether the Giants are winning that year or losing, they kind of bully you, Bobby.
I'm pretty sure within a 10-mile radius of the stadium, on game day, they don't sell batteries because you know where the batteries end up, in someone's head. The opponent's team's head.
I went to park the car. I had the New York plate. The guy said, "You have some nerve parking here."
That's the game where you want Gene Siski as your bodyguard.
That's right.
All right, Gene, take care of this, please.
So if it does snow, Bobby, I say we take the activities from the Sports Bar and Grill and we move them down to Philadelphia. Gene will get us in the back gate to the game, and we'll watch the Eagles, Bobby.
If I'm not mistaken, getting back, because something just hit my mind, I think Gene played for Andy Reid in college.
He did,
right?
Missouri.
Missouri, yeah.
Missouri, big Missouri college. Snitsky, I saw some pictures. What a big lineman, Bobby.
How is he a lineman? He has the body of a tight end. I don't know. Yeah. So I'm rooting for. My head and my heart both say Rams this week. I just have a feeling with that experience of that coaching staff and quarterback that they'll get it done.
It's just something about a certain satisfaction when you turn on a game. Maybe you have a little something to eat. Maybe you're down to Sports Bar and Grill, relaxing with a $10 pitcher, some rice balls, some arancini. And I think one of the most satisfying things would be to see the Eagles go down to the Rams. They go down to the Rams on national television, and all the Eagles fans go, oh.
And they start making excuses up the wazoo. You know, they go back to eating their cheesecakes and whatnot.
Let's bring back Michael Vick. Bring him back. Come on. Nah, I'd say the Eagles, they're a good team, Bobby. Barkley, lighten them up. It reminds me of the old San Francisco 49ers with Joe Montana and Roger Craig at the running back. It was that option. You could either throw or run. It just kept the defense, which was normally good, just on there. They couldn't dial in. And I see that from the Eagles. I see a good, diverse plan with Hurt and Barkley and AJ. Oh.
The key to the game is obvious. It's the health of Jalen Hurts. If he's not as banged up as he was in the past couple of weeks, they're a great team. They have a real good chance of winning this game. If he's back, if he's still that mediocre, not a mediocre, hurt player who can't really throw the ball, you know, then they're going to bottle up Barkley and get that W.
You know, Bobby, sometimes a name can bring on negative actions, and the name just in itself hurts. That's a tough name.
You know what's funny? Last week, by the way, you're a music guy. There's a song out there, remember from the 70s, Love Hurts? Love and Hurts were the quarterbacks last week.
There you go. I mean, I was in the military, and the medics were named Hurts and Pain. Come on, a bad name for a medic.
Yeah.
Get a new name.
Dr. Payne. Imagine you actually went to medical school. I'm Dr. Payne. I'll pass. All right, final game of the weekend, and what should be the granddaddy of them all, as they would say, with the Rose Bowl. 12-5 Ravens, the 3 seed against the 2 seed, 13-4 Bills. 20 degrees, blizzard conditions, lakeshore snow, whatever they call it, you know, lake effect snow up there. It's going to be glorious. When you're indoor next to a heater watching that game because you're not there.
You know, I look forward, Bobby, to games like this where there's snow on the ground. Remember those games? Remember the guy with the snow blower used to go and do the lines so they could see? And some of those games, I was to a game, New Haven Coliseum, when they're redoing Yankee Stadium back in the mid-'70s. It was at New Haven Coliseum. I saw the Giants play against Chuck Foreman and the Minnesota Vikings. It was snowing. Oh my gosh, what a game. So this is what football is all about. So who do you like, Bobby?
Make sure we hear us. It'll be a shame, though. Oh, we're fine, yeah. Just double check, you know. That's my mind is doing so long, right? In entertainment, you make sure, oh, we were plugged in. Oh, what a great show we just missed. No, I am my heart and my head are 100,000% with the Buffalo Bills. I have some good friends who are Bills fans. Even our guy Corey's brother is a big Bills fan. He used to work here, lives now in that area. Shut up. Anyway, oh come on. I don't want to hear myself. Shut up. So I'm wholeheartedly with the Bills. I want to see this fan base win something. I used to have a Buffalo Bills show on Surge Sports in our previous incarnation. Those guys did a great job. I know they're diehard fans. They had all the Bills characters come on the show, Bills Vader and all the guys that dress up. And this franchise, this fan base wants that win. Hey, we were lucky. I'm a Steelers and Giants fan. We won Super Bowls. You're a Giants fan. We won Super Bowls. Can you imagine going 4 years with Scott Norwide and losing 4 making it 4 years in a row, and not winning once. That team is hungry. If they win that, if they get to that big game and win it, these tables like this will be in short supply because they're all going to be destroyed by that fan base celebrating hard. But all right, let's get to the buts now. The Ravens are good.
Ravens
The Ravens are very good and experienced, and I love. I had him on my fantasy team this year. I had Derrick Henry on my fantasy team. He's a great player, great guy, great athlete, and he's the difference maker in this game. Don't forget, Doc. Earlier in the season, Ravens beat the Bills. Like, I think it was 35-10. One of the 4 losses the Bills had, and the one loss at the end didn't count because it was the game when no one played. So.
Well, I can tell you this, Bobby, that the Bills, they've shown me over the past few weeks, susceptible, whether they're playing their starters or not, susceptible, Bobby. And what you saw from a Ravens team is Ravens just came out gunning, 21-0. So what I see, Bobby, is the Ravens, on the other hand, they shut down. If it flurries outside, they shut down the schools worried about snow. So how do the Ravens play?
Outdoor
I just
snow
don't.
globe.
So that's why I say it would be the level or the factor of making it a more balanced game. I saw the Ravens coming in, a good weather game, just maybe taking it back to the Bills. But I don't know, Bobby. I say the Bills, they're used to it. They're used to that lake effect snow, and they're used to those conditions. Derrick Henry is not. I don't think so, Bobby.
Big injury thing we want to look out for is Zay Flowers from the Ravens. Is he playing? Is he not playing? He makes the big difference for that offense. More options. Again, the thing with Lamar Jackson is he does it all. He can run and he can throw. He's a running back out there. Unlike Josh Allen, who can run and throw, but Josh Allen's more like a fullback getting that extra yard for the first down, while Lamar Jackson can turn the corner and break it and score a touchdown. Both running quarterbacks, both mobile, but different types of mobile.
Yeah, but I see him wearing those under the helmet, those hoods that maybe block your peripheral a little bit.
I just noticed this, Doc. Bills are +1. You know what that means?
Underdogs.
Underdogs at home in the snow globe.
But you got to also look back to they've played this year, and again, blowout Ravens. So Ravens are hot right now. Bobby, I wouldn't bet on this game. I surely wouldn't.
The over is 51. Wow.
In the snow, Bobby.
In the snow. I mean,
take the under. Take the under.
My mind is saying Bills in the under, right? I don't know. We'll see. 20 degrees at game time. 6:30 kickoff. I have a quick question before I make my picks. How long have you lived here in New York State? It's been 12, 13 years, right? At least?
Yeah.
Where's the cutoff? Because in Jersey, you know where the cutoff is between like Giants fans and Eagles fans, right? There's the definitive borderline, they say. Where's the cutoff in New York State between like Giants, Jets fans, and then the Bills country? Is that, is it a little further north of here?
I think it's a little further north.
Albany, maybe that area?
There you go. And then a lot of fans down this way, we're so close to the Pennsylvania border that a lot of Eagles fans.
A lot of Eagles fans, yeah. I saw that last week in the sports bar. A lot of Eagles fans came in to watch that game.
And Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania has the Penguins. So you have a lot of Pittsburgh Penguins fans there, the hockey fans out there in the Wilkes-Barre area.
That's good to know. What do you got? What do you like?
All right, so I'm gonna go parlay here. So let's go sports app. Bobby, we won't plug any particular sports app.
Yeah, but if you want to sponsor the show.
That's right. So if you want to sponsor the show, talk to us. And right down the street, we will give a plug to Resorts World. Resorts World Catskills. When they opened up that sports book, that changed the game of gambling here in Sullivan County. Go over there, play some slots, do some games, great food, and entertainment. Even my buddy over there, DJ Dukes.
Just don't play three-card poker because I can't win there. That's three-card poker. Anyway,
So let's go with our super parlay. Our long shot parlay has us starting off with, let's take the Houston Texans. Houston Texans.
wow.
Then we'll go with the Washington Redskins.
Commanders.
Commanders.
Yes.
I'm sorry. The Commanders.
What's they say? The Oilers, the Redskins.
Yeah. Washington. That's who I'll be rooting for. Then, Bobby, we go. This is a tough one.
Who's the next league?
I would say, I'm sorry, Gene. Rams.
Rams.
I'm going Rams.
Rams.
And the last game, who you got, Bobby?
Bills.
Bills.
I'm full in on the
Ravens.
Bills.
I'm sorry, Buffalo. I'm sorry to the only New York team. I'm going to go Ravens here in an upset, even though they're favored by 1.5.
How's that an upset? They're favored. Wait a minute.
In the snow.
Hopefully, what's his name? Van Pelt, right? Scott, was he Buffalo's head coach? I forget his name off the top of my head. Hopefully, he's using that as chalkboard fodder. We're home. We're the 2 seed and we're underdogs. Come on.
Yeah.
Rally the team behind that. I love Josh Allen. I love the Buffalo Bills fan base. They support charities. If something happens to an opposing teams, whatever, they go right behind them and help them out. They're a great fan base. They want this championship, and I want to be there for them. Bills all the way.
You know what? If the Bills win, I wouldn't be upset. I wouldn't be upset at all. Do I root for the Bills here? Let's see who's the favorite. I'll go for the underdog here. I'm gonna root for the Bills, even though I think Lamar's year. This is Lamar's year.
Doc, before we wrap up our first episode here of the Skinny here from live in Villa Roma.
Well, we got to go one more night, Bobby.
No,
Monday night.
oh yeah, no, I'm saying Monday night. What are your thoughts? What's your prediction?
You got a tough game right here. I'll tell you something I did, Bobby. A lot of people know I collect sports cards and all different types. So I'm online and I see these college boxes, and I go on. It says all these different colleges, and they only make 500 of each box, and there's autographs in these boxes, college players. So I'm looking through, and I'm right now, the games haven't played yet. There's 4 teams remaining. And the only box that you couldn't buy was Notre Dame. Because again, probably non-conference or whatever. So Bobby, I buy 2 boxes. I buy Penn State and I buy Ohio State, knowing this is about 3-4 weeks ago. So knowing even before the games are played, if any of those teams should even make and win the national championship, these cards would definitely be more value, even in an unopened box, even with these autograph cards inside. So Bobby, even with that being said, the one box that I really wanted to buy was Notre Dame. And as a kid, I've been a Notre Dame fan, and way back, Joe Montana, Terry Hanratty, all the great players that went through the Notre Dame system, Ara Parsegian, and just growing up with that, Bobby, that gave me my sense of sports and my drive to compete and all, and I owe it all to Notre Dame. So whether my heart tells me Ohio State's a tough team, and this is going to be a tough game, because Ohio State is unbelievable, but susceptible, and the heart and soul of Notre Dame going against that Ohio State is going to be quite the game. I go Notre Dame, Bobby.
Yep, Notre Dame was my first sports love. I'll tell the story one more time. When I was, second, third grade, I did a book report on Newt Rockne. He had kind of a prop, so my dad took an old little Giants toy helmet, spray painted it gold. I still got it. Brought it to South Bend with me last year when I went to my first Notre Dame game. They won in 98, but 88 was my senior year of high school. Kind of wasn't as big into sports as I am now, so I've been waiting since then, since really becoming a big sports fan, in college and beyond, for Notre Dame to do something. And like I keep telling everybody, we took our lickings 10, 12 years ago when we lost and everybody laughed at us, right? But even with Brian Kelly into Marcus Freeman, they got faster, they got stronger, they got bigger. If we would have lost to Penn State last week, first thing they would have done is they would have gotten bigger, because the first part of that game, Penn State was pushing our defensive line backward, which you can't have, obviously. You don't want to go the other way. But they persevered and took over. I see that happening again. CBS Sports, once again, they go break down a position, who's got the better, Ohio State. But something is to be said about the heart of this team and the tradition of Notre Dame football, that Marcus Freeman, I think we finally have the right coach at the right time.
And even his answer, Bobby, and my son John, huge Notre Dame fan, and that's bled off of me as well, and the whole family. But I can tell you, when they asked Marcus Freeman, the first black coach in college football to make it to the national championship, what was his answer, Bobby? And I look up to this guy now for the answer that he gave. They're trying to make a story out of what, Bobby? He
deflected.
He just deflected it right off. He says, whether I'm Asian or Indian or whatever I am, I'm a coach. I'm a coach. It doesn't matter what color you are. Bobby, this is going to be an epic game. We have to talk about one more team who is right now feeling the best of any team in all the world. The team that beat Notre Dame this year. Because if Notre Dame wins the national championship, this team can say, we beat the national champions.
It's funny you mention that, Doc. I've read somewhere recently during this playoff run where that head coach of Northern Illinois had a phone conversation with Marcus Freeman and basically told him what they did to beat Notre Dame. And they haven't lost since.
Wow.
They have not lost since.
What a story there, a byline there.
I wouldn't be surprised if that guy from the head coach from Northern Illinois becomes a coach at Notre Dame one day, because it's a huge stepping stone, And they didn't do very good after that. They made a bowl game, but they weren't that good after that game. But there was a conversation that was had that he pretty much told them how they beat them, what they look for, and the weaknesses and whatnot, and we have not lost since. Go Notre Dame. If you saw my TikTok video where I'm in tears, you can only imagine if we win this game Monday. If you lose, I'll accept it, because I think it's a stepping stone to maybe next year or the year after getting there again, right? Now we're in the conversation again. But if we win this, all bets are off. All bets are off. I'll be calling John. I'll be calling you. We're gonna be, my angel, my Notre Dame Angels in heaven. It'll be glorious.
Is that a 7:30 game, Bobby?
7:30 game. By the time they get it started, 7:45. Like I said, hopefully the weather clears up, because I got to leave here on Monday after DJing Sunday night.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a very nice Monday.
And I want to watch this inauguration, and then I want to get ready for this game Monday night. Logan, who do you like, Logan? Who do you like? Football. What's that? I know. I'm like.
Yeah. So remember tonight, Stephen Scott, comedian, does amazing things with his voice. That'll be in Marty's Lounge, 9:30. And then music by DJ Bobby Blackjack. PBA Ray is here with the PBA. We're going to have a great weekend.
Have them dancing for a couple hours, then I'll just replug downstairs in my home.
Tomorrow night, magician, he's amazing. Doug Wonder returns.
All right. Love that guy.
And Sunday night, Patty Greco Sunshine. She's back. the dynamic singer-entertainer, Patty Greco.
She was here recently. I DJ'd after her, and I was very impressed by her set.
Oh, yes.
Very impressed by her set. Well, the Skinny, first episode.
The Skinny, Bobby. Thanks for being here.
Next one on Sunday, we'll be going live from the sports bar, so maybe we'll do maybe we'll start the show for a few minutes as I prepared, and I'll pan around, show everybody a good live video look of the new sports bar and its various components.
That's right. Best burgers in town. You don't have to drive. If you stay in a condo, let's say you live in a condo, call for the shuttle. Don't even get in your car. You don't have to brush it off. Get in the shuttle. They'll drive you right to the sports bar and grill, then pick you up. You don't even have to drink and drive. Villa Roma.
And if you want to play Sasquatch, you can walk through the back of your condos up the golf course, like Mike the bartender does sometimes, and take that little back route, a little scenic route.
Yes.
But you don't want to do that in the spring or summer because you'll get hit with a ball. Well, Doc, take us out while I end the video.
You've been watching The Skinny, brought to you by the Catskills Festival, February 21st to 23rd. Check thevillaroma.com for all the details on the Catskill Festival. That's coming up February 21st to the 23rd. Also brought to you by Dom New York. Dom New York, craft drinks, the best art and entertainment, Park Avenue South. Have a great afternoon. Buonanotte.